High School. It's time once again for Colonels basketball. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country. This is the Subway pregame show. I am Kyle Haney. With me tonight, back in action, back in the saddle, Agent Zero, the Big O, Oscar Briggs. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful and looking forward to this Altavista-Essex matchup. If it sounds familiar, it should.
It should sound familiar, at least in the football end of things. Of course, the Colonels defeated Essex for their two most recent state championships, 2014 and 2013. Earlier this year, you heard those games live on 105.5, of course. But as Coach Carlero informed us on Saturday, first time they've ever met on the hardwood, at least since he's been coaching in Altavista. So it's some unfamiliar territory on the hardwood.
Well, according to social media, it is the first time that they played. And, talking about Essex and getting their familiarity, they've been to the state championship game twice, most recently in 2013. So some of these kids that we'll be talking about tonight have that state championship experience.
Yeah, there are some guys that certainly know winning and are used to winning, even if it's not quite in basketball. Interesting story about the Essex Trojans. They went into their conference tournament as the number 6 seed, and they really battled all the way up the step ladder. They knocked off the 3 seed in the first round, the 2 seed in the second round, the 1 seed in the finals, and boy, Oscar, they were in dramatic fashion all the way around.
Well, the last game of the season, they played Lancaster. Lancaster blew them out by 20. They get in the conference tournament, like you said, a 6 against the number 3 seed, who is Washington and Lee. They beat Washington and Lee 47-46. They beat Northumberland, the number 2 seed, by a point, and then they beat Lancaster by 2, 46-44. Very rarely will you see a team enter a conference tournament and go through teams 3, 2, and 1, and it's doubly rare or triply rare that they win those 3 games by a total of 4 points. It's remarkable.
It really is a story of this team just battling, getting it done, somehow coming away with some close wins, and maybe we have to call them the Giant Killers, the way, like I said, they've just run up the step ladder and taken on all comers here, getting hot at the right time. We'll talk about that with Coach Mike Carlero and a few other things as well. Let's catch up with him right after this timeout. It's the Subway pregame show. It's the Essex Trojans and the Altavista Colonels. It's East Region Quarterfinal action. You've got yourself a ringside seat on 105.5 KD Country.
Does it seem that most stores don't care about good service these days? Well, at English's Building Supply, good service is still the king. They greet me with a smile, help me select the highest quality Glidden paint, provide expert color matching, and even carry my paint to the car. They help me get the job done right and make it last. At English's Building Supply, the customer is still king. English's Hardware and Building Supply, North Main Street, Altavista.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellas Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellas Chevrolet in Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns here from Altavista High School. It's 1A East Region action. My guest again is Mike Carlero, the head coach of the Altavista Colonels. And Coach C, before we get to this game, you wrapped up the Conference 44 tournament title over Cumberland. You score 89 points, your highest scoring output of the year. And I asked you a little bit about it after the game Saturday, but you attribute that to just your guys running the floor so well and being very efficient on offense?
Yeah, I thought we really got out in transition and we finished. And, that's obviously important. We didn't turn it over. We took advantage of the points that were there and didn't leave them out there. And obviously the big first quarter got going. I think we had 26 points. But, this team's good in transition. They do it well, and as long as we're playing good defense and rebounding the ball, we look to run. It's a positive for us, and it happened against Cumberland.
Let me ask you this, because I know some coaches do. Do you think about the scoring pace before the game? Do you say, hey, we need to score X amount of points and we'll win? Or is it more about defense if we hold them to a certain amount of points? Or is that not even part of the thought process?
That has been the case in some games when we felt like maybe we need to slow the tempo. But it's one of those we kind of let things happen and see. And if it's a game where we're running and it seems to be really well for us, let's do it. If it's a game where we've got to control the tempo a little bit more, then we'll try to do that. So we don't always go in and talk about, we got to score X number of points. It really is, how good are we going to be defensively?
Well, defensively, you guys were very good against Cumberland Saturday. The one thing, they did shoot the 3-ball well. Does it concern you about them shooting behind the arc, or do you figure, hey, they just got hot and we'll defend everybody else a little bit better? We'd rather take away the pain anyway. Well,
they were 8 for 23 from 3, but it seemed like it was a lot better percentage. But honestly, the Brown kid, I think, hit maybe 4 threes from NBA range, and they were contested. I mean, as Dean Smith, I think, told one of his players years ago, what are we going to do? And he said, we're doing it. That's the best we can do, get a hand up and hope they don't keep hitting them. So the ones that are uncontested are the ones that obviously bothers you as a coach because the guy's getting a good look. But for the most part, they earned those 8 threes.
Sure. Essex coming in tonight, speaking of earning things, has really earned their place here in this tournament, in their conference tournament. They knocked off the number 3 seed in the first round, the number 2 seed in the next round, and then the number 1 seed in the finals. So it's clearly a team that is hot and has some momentum on their side. What do you do to try and stem that momentum, or you just come out and play your game?
Well, you come out and play your game, but it's important to come out and get off to a good start. In the way we got the format this year for the region, it's not conference champions versus runners-up. So we're actually playing the hottest team going in other than ourselves with their 3 wins last week. So this is not like a 1-8 game at all. I think it's going to be a real battle. They're physical. They play hard. They're experienced kids. They've been very successful in football, and they have been in basketball too. So, we got to come out and really establish ourselves early, especially in the post, if they're playing man-to-man.
Well, with the weather change for them, this game was supposed to be last night, and possibly some more weather on the horizon. I guess it's anything goes again. You got to be prepared to play 3 nights in a row, but you also maybe have to prepare yourself for a couple days off. Anything extra a coach can do there? You just wait for the chips to fall and then go when they do?
No, you really wait. Yesterday we thought we were going to play and we didn't, and we had a good practice. Our guys have been resilient. Tonight we're playing. We hope to survive. If we survive, we hope we're playing tomorrow night, which originally was going to be a practice day in between, the state qualifier. So things are at the way they are right now. You just got to roll. You roll with the punches and hope you're still playing and stay focused and tuned in and do the best you can.
Well, I know with this playoff push, we're into elimination time again. Probably some more folks tuning in. We hope that you are. Shout-outs should be growing.
Yeah, shout-outs tonight. I think a lot of people probably can't get to the game. My dad is listening in. Buena Vista, William and his family are listening in. Ann and Chris actually are not in Maryland. They're in Florida, and I hope they're listening in Florida with Minnie in Florida. I'm sure it's a lot warmer there. Micah is listening in up in Manassas, and he's gotten off to a good start with his Highland baseball team. Glenn and Linda Miller listening in, Pug and Bob Finch, I think, and that might be it for the list.
Well, it's going to be a list, again, that we hope grows, and we hope you can come out and catch these Colonels in action. Trojans and Colonels, 10 minutes away on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Mitch Haley with Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center. I would like to take this time to thank KD Country for the advertising opportunities they have provided me this past year. I would also like to thank our customers for making 2014 such a great year. It is because of your continuous support that we are able to expand our business and offer you more than we ever had in 2015. Come see us today at Altavista Appliance Home and Lawn Center, where you can shop small and save big.
Visit their newly remodeled showroom on 7th Street.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns here from Altavista High School. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Oscar Briggs. The Essex Trojans in town taking on the Altavista Colonels. First round East Region, 1A basketball action, Mr. Briggs. And let's point out before we get everything started, it's win or go home time. Loser this game, season is done. If you win the first two games, then you don't have to win that region final, as each region is going to send two finalists to the state Final Four. But these next two for Altavista, win or go home, elimination game scenario.
Well, and you heard Coach Cardallero, this Essex team is extremely hot. We talked about the way they rolled through their conference tournament. Altavista Colonels have rolled through their conference tournament in equally as probably just in very impressive fashion. Central Lunenburg first, doubling up on them, winning 79-38, and then just absolutely dismantling a very good Cumberland team, 89-46, and coming off 8 straight wins for the Colonels. They're hot.
Yeah, the 89-point output on Saturday. You heard me ask Coach Cardallero about it, and he said, "Well, we didn't really design it that way, but we got out in transition a bunch. We were efficient on the offensive end, made a lot of baskets." And it ended up working out well for the Colonels on Saturday. Everything works out well at Subway all the time. Big shout out to the gang down there on Main Street. I think they're tuned in right now. Kayla, Carly, and Mark doing a fantastic job. Boy, Oscar, it was packed when we went in there earlier. The word is out.
The word, they were lined out the door. I mean, it was impressive. But even though the line was out the door, guess what? It was still a 3 or 5. It was like a 5-minute trip. They were rolling people through, and we even saw the owner.
Yeah,
Robert Duff, even behind the counter working.
Robert Duff there, excited. He's got some big news. We may share it with you tonight. We may wait for the Subway pregame show tomorrow to share the big news. More shout-outs to some folks. I think Danny Barber is tuned in. I think Glenn and Linda Miller tuned in. And our old buddy Jerry Kinlaw down in Asheboro, North Carolina. His brother Mike said, "Hey, you got to hear these guys. These Colonels, not us, talking about the team, but they're trying to spread the word about how good this ball club is, Oscar." And I said, "We're the next best thing. You're better off coming to the game and seeing it in person. But if for some reason you can't, we're here for you."
Well, and you can do both.
Yeah,
I mean, you can come to the game and bring a headset and listen. You can bring your smartphone, listen, tune in app, or some other. You can bring your old radio and listen to 105.5 KD Country, and either way, and we like to think we enhance the experience.
I think so. The Colonels have enhanced the fans' experience for sure. We talked about Essex being hot. Well, Altavista, including those 2 wins in the conference tournament, they've whipped off 9 in a row, Mr. Briggs, and they beat some pretty good competition in the process. And, just the 3 losses on the year, coming to 2 quality opponents. They lost to Dan River twice, Spotswood once, and really, Spotswood's still undefeated, Oscar. They put it on the Brookville Bees last night, and Spotswood Trailblazers have yet to lose. Colonels gave them a 1-point ball game. That was without Demetrius Johnson. So I think the Colonels, as far as just competition and talent in the state, right up there with the best of them.
I totally agree. And, the other 2 losses come to a very, very talented Dan River squad who's still in the ball game as well in AA. And, they were in both of those games late, and just Dan River closed them out.
Yeah.
And nothing bad about Altavista, just couldn't hit the right moments. Again, one of those games was without Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson getting hurt midway through that third quarter there in the first Dan River game. Interestingly enough, Demetrius had his high in rebounding that game, 14 boards before he got knocked out due to the injury. This is the Subway pregame show for the Altavista Colonels and the Essex Trojans. Essex comes in at 11-10 Altavista 20-3 on the year. But we, again, should point out that Essex is battle-tested and they're hot. They ripped through their conference tournament, beating the number 3 seed first, the number 2 seed after that, and then the number 1 seed in the conference title game. So Essex probably has that, us against the world mentality. We're the giant killers. Nobody wants to play us. All those things are working in the Trojans' favor here tonight. Their head coach, James Moore.
Well, and you look down the list, the roster of who is on this Essex team, and you talk about Malik Martin, Sterling Hammond, Malik Stevenson, DeAndre Harris, Terrell Hunley. Those guys are football players, too, and don't think that they don't have these last 2 state championship football losses to the Colonels in their mind, too.
Oh, I agree. They've carried some of that motivation over. Sterling Hammond was an amazing player out there on the gridiron. We got to see him a couple times. We'll get to see him one more time on the basketball court here tonight, and I have a feeling he'll be an impact player, and you're definitely hitting the nail on the head when you say that some of these guys are going to remember those football games. We're closing in on the finish line here for the Subway pregame show. Before we get to the national anthem, let me tell you about our starting lineup. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Sonny Merriman, Virginia's premier bus company. El Cazador, a great place for family and friends to dine. And shout out to Stephen and Carlos and the whole gang down there. Adrian, I think they might be tuning in right now as well. So hello to the El Cazador guys and gals. Also bringing you this basketball game, Fellers Chevrolet. A short drive will save you money. And we might as well say hello to Kay and Ed Fellers and the whole gang down there. Of course, Mr. Walker and
Greg and Lynette Walker. I'm
exactly.
sure they're dialed in.
Got to be dialed in for this one tonight. Also, Altavista Appliance. Visit them at their new location on 7th Street. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. David Shreve, attorney at law. When life happens, call David W. Shreve. English's, your complete home center, and your Atrium Vinyl Window headquarters. Also, your Glidden, authorized Glidden paint dealer, And your live internet broadcast at kdcountry.com, brought to you by Chris Owen, your Allstate agent in Lynchburg. Go online and search for Chris Owen today. Get a quote from him. And Oscar, the gym is filling up here as the Subway pregame show goes on. Student section appears to be out in full force tonight, and the adults are partaking in the game as well. I'd say we're about 65 to 70% capacity right now.
And the Altavista fans sit a little differently than you see a lot of places, a lot of schools. They kind of split up between both sides of the court. You got a lot on one side, and then on the bench side, there's about 3/4 of that is a little bit over half of that's taken up by Altavista fans as well. So good turnout tonight.
Good point by you. Altavista really does just sort of surround you as a visiting team. They do pretty much leave the area behind the visitors' bench reserved for the visiting fans. And Essex has brought a few of them here to the ball game, although long trip from Essex, of course, located in Tappahannock, northeast of the Richmond area, kind of in between Richmond and Fredericksburg, but off to the east a little bit towards the ocean, some over there in the eastern part of the state of Virginia. And the Altavista Colonels have really put together an environment here in this gym that makes it tough for a visiting team to come into. It's a great place to watch a game, but it can be a little intimidating if you're a road team coming in with the pep band, the light show that's about to get underway, and just a good crowd support that the Colonels always seem to have. Tonight, no exception. National anthem on the way, so we'll step aside and take a timeout. When we come back, starting lineups, a little bit more from Oscar and I, and then the tip-off before you know it between Altavista and Essex. It's quarterfinal East Region 1A basketball action. It's playoff time, boys and girls, and you better be ready to go. You're going to hear this one all live on 105.5 KD Country.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
Life happens. Divorce, family problems, criminal charges, civil litigation, personal injury cases. Turn to David W. Shreve, an experienced attorney at law. David W. Shreve has been practicing law for 30-plus years. Free consultation for personal injury cases. Call today, 369-6621. 369-6621. David W. Shreve. Good luck to the Altavista basketball team in the playoffs. Go Colonels. David W. Shreve, located 7th Street, Altavista.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Another good rendition of the national anthem here from Altavista High School. Starters about to be announced by us, but let me remind you once again that this is the Subway pregame show. The Simple 6 menu from Subway, value made simple every day. Choose from our best 6-inch sandwiches, a bag of chips, and a 21-ounce drink for just $6. That's the Simple 6 menu at Subway. Oscar, did you partake in that new Turkey Italiano from Subway earlier today?
Absolutely. What I did today and kind of followed Robert Dumpsley. He said he had the same thing. So, and boy, that's something else.
Yeah, I need to get on that next time. I just ate a bunch of raspberry cheesecake cookies and had the usual unsweet tea, so not the best healthy eating for me. But that's the great thing about Subway. You can go either direction. The great thing about that Colonel Light show is it gets everybody in the crowd involved. You can probably hear the enthusiasm coming across on the radio. Everybody gets with Nelson Dews when he yells out, "Let's go," and the music stops. The lone spotlight on Nelson in the middle of the lane there as Mr. Kenny Hunt, the public address announcer at Altavista,
and
gets everybody into it.
They do a great job, and you've got law enforcement at the doors to ensure that the place stays dark. No coming in or going out. If you're not in the gym when the lights go out for the light show, you're not getting in.
Yeah, it's like going to a Broadway show. If you don't get in by the start of that first act, you're going to have to wait till the curtain closes for the intermission there. And Colonels are going to go with their usual starting 5. But before we get to them, Oscar, did you catch the starters for the Essex boys basketball team, once again coached by James Monroe?
Absolutely did. And they'll go with number 10, Rashawn Monroe, number 14, Sadar Calhoun, number 22, Sterling Hammond, number 23, Malik Stevenson, and number 40, Alex Peterson.
At least 4 of those names, or excuse me, at least 3 of those names, Monroe, Stevenson, and Hammond, are familiar to me from football. Sterling Hammond and Malik Stevenson are seniors. Peterson's a sophomore. Monroe is a junior, and Calhoun is a sophomore. So you got a good mix there.
Peterson's a 6'3" sophomore, and he's a good-looking shot.
Colonels are, I'm sorry, Mr. Briggs. I was just going to say Colonels going to go with their 5 seniors. Number 1, Michi Malbach, 5'9" guard. Number 2, Juan Thornhill, 6'2" guard. Number 3, Donovan Montague, a 6'5" forward. Number 5, Demetrius Johnson, a 6'3" forward. And number 10, Darius Johnson, a 6'4" power forward. Senior lineup. All 5 of them are seniors for the Altavista Colonels.
And talk about battle-tested. Yep, they're very well battle-tested as well. Again, back-to-back state champions, trying to make this their 3rd trip to Richmond. And with each passing game, that target gets a little bit bigger on their back, Kyle.
Absolutely right. Everybody's got the bullseye on the Colonel's back. Everybody wants to say, hey, we're the team that finally knocked them off. And Altavista knows that. They enjoy that role. They relish it. And the Colonels, again, Oscar, you always feel a little bit uneasy when you're in an elimination game, when you know your season could come to an end. But let's put it this way. The Colonels have been a lot better than in elimination games than anybody else in the past 3 years.
And, you know, watching them here as the national anthem has started, they look very calm. They look focused. They look confident. It'll be interesting to see if there are any butterflies or if they'll continue the dominating play that they've shown in the last eight ball games.
Yeah, great point. They appear loose. Our officiating crew is a very good one as well. Brad Bailey, Mark Coleman, Jason Morgan. There's the jump ball. It goes to the Altavista Colonels. Montague got it in the backcourt. Thornhill going in a hurry. Gets to the free throw line. Kick out the ball back. Colonels working right to left from our perspective, south to north from our perspective here. Courtside at Altavista High School, looks like Essex has opened up in the 2-3 zone.
Very aggressive 2-3 zone as the ball was swung from the right-hand side over to the left. They're going quickly. As we alluded to before the game started, anytime you talk about an Essex team, you're going to talk about athleticism.
Foul away from the basketball. Got some battling down low between Darius Johnson and it looks like Sterling Hammond. I think the foul is the first one on Sterling Hammond. So there's a scouting report early. I mean, Essex knew, hey, they want to get the ball down low to Darius and Demetrius Johnson. We're going to try and take that away. Just a little too physical that time.
Boy, and Darius and Sterling are certainly not strangers to each other either.
Not at all. Inbound play goes to Thornhill. He quickly gives it back to Malback. Bounce pass in the corner to Michi. Now Michi, top of the key, back to Juan Thornhill. 7:20 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Still no score. Not even a shot attempt up just yet. Altavista in the home whites. Orange Altavista written over the black numeral. Orange striping down the side. Everybody's got the gray socks, gray shoes. Three ball up from Malback. Bullseye! Michi Malback starts the scoring in fine fashion with the three ball from the left wing.
And Essex has Peterson and Calhoun out on the backside of that zone in the three spots, and they're going out defending against that jumper. And they're long, 6'3".
Absolutely. Stevenson throws it middle of the lane to Hammond. Now kick out pass to Peterson at the right elbow. No good. There's a rebound by Hammond, but he can't get the second chance to go. Ball nearly out of bounds, and it's recovered by Calhoun. Calhoun, free ball, corner pocket. We are tied up 3-3. Sadar Calhoun, the 6'3 sophomore guard, knocking it down.
And nice
corner.
Nice persistence on the offensive boards. Coach Cardellaro wasn't real pleased with the Colonels' effort that time.
Demetrius Johnson in traffic, middle of the lane, got the basketball swatted away. Colonels recover. Michi wants to try it again. Yes, sir. Michi Malback with another three-pointer. The only man that has scored so far for Altavista has scored two big three-pointers. 6-3. Colonels on top again. Hammond fouled at the top of the key by Demetrius Johnson. Early substitute going to come in. He's Malik Martin for Essex. Oscar, it's already shaping up like it's going to be a good basketball game. 6:07 left to play in the first. Colonels up 3.
Well, like you said, it's shaping up like it's going to be a good one. It's easy to see. This Essex team, it's hard to understand how they went 8 and 10 before they got hot.
No kidding. I'm with you on that. Essex basketball in the front court. They're going to bounce it top of the key to Malik Martin. He's the fresh face in. Guarded by Juan Thornhill. Thornhill's behind the three-point line. Martin no dribble yet. Now he'll use the right hand. Pass it backwards to Hammond. Hammond wants to drive. Guarded by Demetrius Johnson. Another familiar matchup for sure. Now they get it back off to Rashawn Monroe. Monroe to Sardar Calhoun. Calhoun's the only guy wearing long sleeves. Essex in the purple road jerseys. They've got the orange trim down the bottom. Nice backdoor cut by Monroe. Can't finish. Demetrius tips it backwards to the foul line, picked up by Hammond. His shot won't go, and then rebounded by Demetrius Johnson and finally cleared. Thornhill quickly bounced past the Malback, blocked away, but there's Darius Johnson on the follow. Left side of the rim for 2, 8-3. Colonels lead by 5.
5:14 remaining here in the first quarter. Nice job, fast break, nice feed from Thornhill to Michi. Again, nice transition defense by Essex as well.
Martin, spin move, lane, gets it to the right side of the 10 and down. Nice layup there by Malik Martin. Good individual move to get free and just weave in and out of traffic.
Well, he had Juan Thornhill blanketed on him, but he did a nice job of penetration by that junior.
You don't get by Thornhill very often. Michi thought about stepping into another 3. Long cross-court pass to Montague instead. Monty wants to try, and it looks very good. Donovan Montague for 3. Colonels have hit 3 of them here early. 11-5 lead for Altavista. 4:30 left to play in the first.
Unbelievable start here from the Colonels from three-point land.
Altavista seems like they've been shooting more and more of them as the season goes on. As a team, they shoot 30% from beyond the arc.
Well, as the season's gone on, you're starting to see people pack in zones. Wow.
Speaking of threes, Peterson for three. Alex Peterson, the 6'3 forward. Same spot that Calhoun made his three-pointer. It's an 11-8 Colonel lead. Halfway through the Select Air first quarter. Montague catches again. Thought about another three-pointer, just a bounce pass middle of the court between the circles to Michi Malbeck. Chest pass to the right wing to Thornhill, and Thornhill's just going to work it slowly to his left and reset the offense. 3:40 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Bounces it middle of the paint to Darius Johnson. Johnson's going to get whistled with the offensive foul. He gave Peterson the shoulder, and they said just a little too much body contact.
Yeah, they probably got it right. There was too much separation, too much advantage gained by Darius as he made that spin. He did lower his shoulder, and I think he was probably a little bit more open than he realized.
11-7, Colonels lead by 4. 3:30 left to play in the first. Essex basketball. Peterson driving, right hand, gets it to the right edge of the paint from 10 feet. That jump shot won't go in. Thornhill with the rebound. He's going to take it and run himself. Thornhill over the head pass to Demetrius Johnson. Johnson can't get it to fall. Darius is there for the putback. Darius Johnson, the only man that has scored 2-pointers tonight for the Colonels. 13-7, they lead.
And they've changed. They must have changed one of those 3-pointers that we thought that Essex hits to a 2-pointer. I'm assuming it's that last one from Peterson.
You're right. Scoreboard had Essex for 8. Now it's down to 7. 13-7 is our score with 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Defensive foul. Nope, offensive foul. This is going to be against the Essex Trojans. I think they got Rashawn Monroe just using the body a little bit too much here on the near sideline. Colonel basketball. They'll inbound left-hand sideline. We are courtside again from Altavista High School.
And don't be surprised if this game doesn't get a little chippy, because both of these teams, again, very familiar with each other from a football perspective, and very competitive.
There's certainly going to be some emotion there from that perspective. It's an elimination game. Lob play. Thornhill, two-handed jam. He really just had to rise up above the rim and almost tap it downward. It was another patented Michi Malbeck alley-oop from beyond the three-point ring, and Malbeck is out there talking, letting Essex know about it.
And you could see that one coming.
Well-designed play right there. Offensive foul again. Juan Thornhill taking the charge with a big smile on his face. That one is on Sardar Calhoun. Juan got the feet set, and Calhoun just bowled him over.
And on that dunk, Juan, all he really had to do was touch it. That ball was almost in the cylinder if it wasn't in the cylinder.
Perfectly placed. If anything, head coach James Moore for Essex could have maybe tried to argue that it was a goaltend, because Juan did really just rise up and just smack it downward with two hands. Altavista basketball in the front court again. Malbeck, right-hand dribble, working close to the near sideline. Hands it off to Demetrius Johnson. Down low, left-hand block, looking for Brother Darius, and that's poked away. Turnover there, and Essex on the attack with 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter. This is Calhoun. Lost it to Peterson, but Peterson recovers in the corner in front of us. And you're going to get a defensive foul this time. Body contact from Darius Johnson. That's going to be Darius' second.
Yeah, that's 2 on Darius, and I kind of disagree with that one. Darius was closely guarding, and Peterson actually drug his foot. Kind of looked like Darius might have pushed him, but he didn't.
This is a very good and athletic ball club from Essex. I'm with you, Oscar. Hard to believe they only won 8 games in the regular season.
Did you see the focus in Juan Thornhill's eyes?
Thornhill didn't blink there as he was guarding the inbounder. Hammond to the rack, off the window and down. Nice drive right there by Sterling Hammond for 2. From the right wing, he came in. Hard to get in front of that man. Montague catches left wing. One dribble, picks it up. Now middle of the court to Thornhill. Thornhill had to save it from going backcourt there in the errant pass. 90 seconds left to play in the Select Air first quarter. 15-9, your Altavista Colonel lead. Demetrius has it baseline left, and he lost it. Look at blue collar Josh Monroe get in there and tie it up. Jump ball, though, and the possession arrow favors Essex.
Yeah, if the Essex Trojans have any indication that they're going to get a break because Johnson's on the bench, Josh McClure is going to give them a battle on the boards.
Yep. So starters for Altavista along with Josh McClure. Demetrius Johnson, Juan Thornhill, Montague, and Michi Malbeck. Hammond running the point guard spot just a little right of center, about 40 feet away. Now passes left wing to Alex Peterson. Peterson holds it over his head, guarded by McClure. He'll hand off to Sardar Calhoun. Calhoun works at middle of the court. One-handed pass to another fresh face. That's Cavante Moore. 60 seconds left to play in the first. Colonels lead 15-9.
Essex being very patient. Only trailing by 6 with, like you said, right under a minute left.
Essex probably a little more patient than most teams we see playing the Colonels. Martin drives left hand, gives it off to Peterson. Peterson working in the extended post from the left side. Now back top of the key to Hammond. Hammond took too many steps. Bishop right there on it. That brings a nice, good cheer from the Colonel crowd, and this gym is filled up, Oscar. We're more about 90% capacity now.
And you got to credit Michi Malback with that turnover for the additional pressure. As he jumped out, little jump switch type thing, and nice job. Nelson Dews into the game.
Another long-distance specialist. Watch Nelson Dews. Thornhill driving, spin move at the free throw line, pass back to Nelson Dews. Dews for three. He got it! Long-distance call from Nelson Dews from the right wing. 18-9, Colonels lead. 4 3-pointers here in the first quarter. Down to 24 seconds left to play in the first frame.
I don't think they've missed either, have they?
I don't think so. Not from three, anyway. Hammond catches left wing right in front of the Colonels bench. Now he'll back it out near half court. Down to 12 seconds. Essex has designs on holding for the last shot here in the first quarter. Down to 8 seconds. Hammond still with the basketball. In the corner to Martin. Martin along the baseline. Nice drive off the glass and in with the right hand finish. 1 second. Ball back. Half court shot off. It hit the side of the iron but would not fall. What a great first quarter of hoops. You better be sure to stick around for this one. 18-11. Colonels lead after one over Essex on 105.5 KD Country.
Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus company, Sunny Merriman Incorporated, along with their employees and families, joined together to congratulate the Altavista High School athletic teams for their outstanding sports seasons. Sunny Merriman wishes you the best in the playoffs and in your quest to bring home more state championship trophies to our community. Go Colonels, make us proud.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Michi Malback for the Altavista Colonels, Oscar, has hit a three-pointer in 16 games this year. That's 16 out of 24 games. He hit 2 big ones there in the first quarter. Nelson Dews and Donovan Montague followed suit, and the rest of the Colonels weren't bad either. They lead 18-11.
Yeah, one of the things I don't like, Colonels 4 out of 5 from 3 on that. That last tee from half court counts as a three-point attempt. And I don't know.
Well, it almost went in. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
Malback was actually about 5 feet behind the half-court stripe and got a good run into it. Oh, down low quickly to Donovan Montague to start the second period. Shot won't go from 2 feet. Demetrius had a chance to jab it back to the rim. That won't fall down either. Montague almost had a steal. Essex comes away with it. Not a ton of turnovers for either team. Peterson down low, right-hand block, catch and shoot 2-pointer is good. 18-13, Colonels' lead has been trimmed to 5.
You've got to be impressed. This is a well-coached team. I mean, that was a nicely designed play, taking advantage of Altavista with a pick.
James Moore, the head coach for Essex. Of course, Mike Cardellaro, the head coach for the Altavista Colonels. Montague catches in the right corner. Thornhill going to try for 3 off the back iron. No good. Tapped off the backboard. That won't fall. Demetrius Johnson, 1 dribble. Power move to the hoop. He is fouled. Shot won't go in. He claps his hands. Sort of did it right in front of Sterling Hammond. So there's that little extracurricular stuff. There was nothing malicious or anything there. Demetrius just kind of saying, hey, I'm playing hard too, just like you are.
Yeah, something happened like that similarly in the Southeast Conference earlier or late last week, and you saw what became of that.
Well, we don't want any of that here today. No. First trip to the free throw line for anybody here today is our first chance to tell you that the second quarter is brought to you by Select Air. Donnie and the gang will fix any electrical or mechanical problem, including ACs, heat pumps, plumbing, and more, and they'll be at your house fast, usually in 45 minutes or less. First free throw, no good for Demetrius Johnson. Second one on the way. That one is good. 1 of 2 for the senior big man for Altavista. 19-13, Colonels on top.
You think we've seen the last of Darius for the quarter?
With 2 fouls, I don't think so, but I think maybe it'll be about the 5-minute mark or even less before Coach Cardellaro puts him back in. Certainly the score might have something to do with that, too.
I totally agree. I think the score will indicate what he does, dictate what he does.
Peterson driving, stopped at the free throw line, out of bounds. Last touch off Nelson Dews. On the court right now for the Colonels, it is Dews, Michi Malback, Demetrius Johnson, Juan Thornhill, and Donovan Montague. Colonels in the home whites. Look at Montague stripping the inbound pass away. Couldn't control it, but Essex has to reset and throw it in again.
Juan Thornhill wondering how the Colonels didn't get that ball.
Essex inbounding baseline right in front of us. This is Malik Martin, about 10 feet in front of us. Does throw it in to number 13, DeJuan Smith, who's in the ball game. Cavante Moore driving right side of the paint. Got it knocked away, recovered by Malik Martin. He circles the defense to his left. Three-pointer up and good from Cavante Moore. We said the Colonels hadn't missed many. Essex hasn't missed many from beyond the arc either. That's their third three ball.
No, they haven't, and they're not backing down. And we talked about whether we'd see Darius again. He's at the stars table now, getting ready to come in.
There you go, Demetrius Johnson, middle of the paint, won't go with the soft right-hand touch. Just threw it over the rim. 19-16. Hammond driving. Takes a look at the rim. Shot up. Runner won't fall because they wave it off. Offensive foul. They're going to get, I believe, DeJuan Smith with the clear-out move there to give Hammond some space. And Oscar was absolutely right. Darius Johnson, is checked back in the ball game.
Give Demetrius a break. And that was a tough break. Nicely designed play by Sterling Hammond going to the hoop, but the pick aided in him getting open.
Hammond made the bucket. That would have made it a one-point game, but wiped that off. It's a three-point Colonel lead, 19-16. Nelson Dews, right wing three. This time too strong. Back iron, nice rebound by Alex Peterson to sky up and take it off the backboard.
And for most of the year, the second quarter has been the one where the Colonels have really stepped on the gas pedal and separated themselves from their opponent.
Good point. Second quarter's been kind of like moving day for Altavista. 5:40 left to play in the aforementioned second stanza. 19-16, Colonels lead. This is Cavante Moore, left-hand dribble to his left. Free throw line now to Sterling Hammond. Hammond off balance, two is in from 16 feet. So he couldn't get the two on the last one because of the foul. He gets it here, 19-18. Colonels lead down to 1. 5:24 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. Nelson Dews thought about another three, this time left wing. Over right wing to Thornhill. Juan driving baseline, cut off, crossover dribble, top of the key. Back to Michi Malbeck. Michi bounce pass down low looking for Darius Johnson. He's tied up with Sterling Hammond. Hammond hits the deck hard. Jump ball is the call. Mutual possession tie up. Fans are into it. Players are into it. I think the officials got the call right. They let the two guys battle for it there for a minute, but then you got to call the jump ball eventually.
Yeah, some people took exception to it, but it was nothing more than two good athletes trying to get the same pumpkin. And two strong kids, too, at that.
19-18. Altavista on top by 1. They've led the entire ball game. 5:10 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. Thornhill playing defense on Hammond in the backcourt. Altavista's had Demetrius Johnson on Sterling Hammond. Also Thornhill, and Thornhill helps cause the turnover. Hammond just dribbled it right off his foot.
Nice defense by Thornhill on Hammond. Hammond, not one of the better ball handlers for Essex.
I agree. It's interesting that they're having him, Coach James Moore is having Hammond bring it up more often than not. Hammond is well put together, 6'1", listed as a forward, but he seems to be running the point guard spot so far here in this game. 19-18, Colonels lead their basketball in the front court. Ball back, fakes a three, bounce pass along the baseline to Darius Johnson. Johnson tied up as he's going to the hoop. That's a foul. And Darius Johnson will return to a familiar spot, the free throw line. Darius has attempted 115 free throws on the year coming into this game, and he's shooting 70%, so that's pretty good for a big man.
It is, and that was a hard foul as well. As he went up, Martin was the one that grabbed him, and he grabbed him low and held on to his forearms.
Yeah, you're right. They made sure Darius didn't score. You could maybe make a case that it was an intentional foul, but I think they got the call right.
I do too.
First free throw, no good. Darius bends the knees. Right-handed shooter tries the second, and that one will rattle home. 20-18. Colonels lead back up to a deuce. Cavante Moore going to bring it up far sideline. Guarded by Malbeck. He got by Michi momentarily, but number one, Michi Malbeck recovered nicely, playing some defense out front. And they're going to whistle Malbeck with a reaching in foul. Michi disgusted with himself in the call, I think, both. And you get some boos that you can probably hear on the radio.
There wasn't a lot of contact.
They hand it off to Martin. Martin gets by his man. Layup from the left side is good. We are tied up 20-20. Malik Martin with the slick move to get by Donovan Montague.
Martin, very, very good ball player.
20-20, tied ball game. First time we've been tied since the 0-0 mark that we started. We're nearly halfway through the second quarter now. Malbeck, left wing, couple dribbles to the hoop. Shot won't fall. It was contested. Here come the Essex Trojans. 3-on-2 fast break. Hammond pulls up from 10 feet. good. Essex leads 22-20. Their first lead of the ball game. We're under 4 minutes left to play in the second quarter. Montague catches left wing about 5 feet behind it. Hadn't used the dribble yet. Overhead pass to Darius, middle of the paint. Turnaround Jay is good. We're tied up again. Back and forth basketball here from Altavista High School. 22-22.
And that's really the first time that they've been able to get the ball down deep out of the offense.
Yeah, by design in a half-court set, you're right. There's almost a steal by Thornhill. Essex gets it back on the pinball. Hammond gives it up now to Malik Martin. Martin, left wing, just kind of sizing up Donovan Montague. Over to Cavante Moore. Moore's three-pointer won't go. Nice rebound by Thornhill about 5 feet away from the hoop, middle of the lane. Juan bringing it up. Full head of steam to the basket. And in, and Juan Thornhill is fouled. Juan Thornhill with the right-hand layup finish. Boy, Juan turned on the Jets there, went up the far sideline, weaved in and out a couple defenders, then made a beeline right for the right edge of the hoop and got it in.
I had no indication that he was going to be able to get to the hoop on that, but he just, like you said, he turned on the Jets, and he was not going to be denied.
He was a blur. It looked like one of those off-tackle football plays where as soon as he broke away from the defense, he was gone. Free throw no good, but it's received by Demetrius Johnson at the right elbow. Colonel's going to get a chance at some more points. Pull-up jumper from Demetrius. Too strong. Thornhill on the offensive board. Juan's going to step back for two. Too strong. There's the rebound and cleared now by Alex Peterson. Essex on the run themselves. Hammond, pump fake, shot up. He got bodied by Michi Malbach. Michi went up to time the block. Hammond with a well-placed pump fake there will send him to the free throw line. Colonels lead 24-22.
Not only did he send Michi, he sent Darius and Demetrius flying as well, and that's 2 on Michi as well as 2 on Darius. Colonel's getting into a little bit of a foul situation here with 2:54 remaining in the second quarter, leading by 2.
Hammond's first free throw no good. Sterling Hammond, much like Juan Thornhill, has got a little tape on his right wrist. And Thornhill, I think, tapes the right wrist up for his support when he's dunking the basketball. Hammond makes the back end of the 2. 24-23. Colonels lead down to 1. Mateo Malbach checking in the ball game for the Altavista Colonels. There's the steal there, taken away by Rashawn Monroe. Monroe got fouled as he was going the other way.
Careless pass on that play by Juan, and Demetrius picks up the foul. That's his second.
Yep. So Darius Johnson has 2 fouls. Demetrius Johnson has 2 fouls. Michi Malbach has 2 fouls. The Colonels have 6 as a team, and it's spread between those 3 guys right there. 2:48 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. 24-23. Altavista on top by 1. Oh, Malbach had a piece of Monroe's jersey. No whistle there, and there's a steal by Darius Johnson. They tried to send it down low. Darius going to run the fast break himself. Gives it off to Thornhill. Thornhill's 2-footer from the left side won't fall. They're going to whistle Juan Thornhill with an over-the-back violation, I believe.
And that's
17th foul.
17th foul. That's going to send him to the line for 1-and-1. Juan, that was one of those disgusted, I missed the chippy shot fouls.
Bob Aldis would call it the bunny shot. I call it the gimme because, it's a gimme in golf. Mike and Jerry Kinlaw just tell you to pick that one up, Oscar. That one's good. But that was contested, unlike in golf. You don't have a couple people waving their clubs at you like Thornhill did. This will send number 13, DeJuan Smith, to the free throw line for Essex. 5'11" senior with a chance to tie it here on the 1-and-1. Left-handed shooter puts the first one up. Back iron, no good. Too strong. Rebounded by Josh McClure, middle of the paint. McClure looking for somewhere to go with the basketball. Finally finds Demetrius Johnson on the far sideline. And Demetrius is fouled as he is catching the ball by Cavante Moore from Essex. 2:33 left to play in the second.
That'll send Demetrius to the line for 1-and-1.
I think free throws may sound cliche, but they're going to be big as this game goes on, Oscar.
Demetrius 1 out of 2 so far for the evening.
Coming into the game shooting 68%. This one's back iron, too strong, no good. Rebounded by Essex. Calhoun throws it away. Thornhill was there for the interception at midcourt. 2:25 left to play in the second. Colonels on offense in the front court. McClure, free throw line, catches, looking for space, up and under move, gets it to go. The leaning jump shot by Josh McClure. Count the basket, 26-23. Colonels lead back up to 3.
Again, you call him blue collar. That's exactly what kind of play that was. Easy for me to say.
Thornhill nearly on the steal. Sardar Calhoun, chest pass, cross court, left side of the court. Now Cavante Moore will work it to the right wing. Back between the circles, over to Hammond, left wing. Hammond about 10 feet behind the three-point line. Guarded by Demetrius Johnson, who has his heels planted just beyond the three-point line. 26-23. Colonels ahead by 3. Essex basketball in the front court. Altavista in their usual man-to-man defense. Kick out pass. 3-ball in the way from Monroe. Rainbow three-pointer is good, and we are tied again. 26-26, our third tie of the ball game. Montague wants to break the tie. His 3, way too strong. Didn't even draw iron. Rebound by Xavier Lee for Essex. Trojans looking for the lead again. That 3-ball too strong. Collected by McClure after a tip from Demetrius Johnson.
It's funny on the defensive end that Donovan Montague at 6'5" is guarding his 5'5" player.
Thornhill, his long jump shot won't fall. Rebound out of bounds. Last touch off Donovan Montague. This will give Essex the basketball with 1:02 left to play in the half. We are tied 26-26. Altavista had the lead early. We've had 3 ties, 2 lead changes. Under 1 minute to play.
Boy, no back down in this Essex team, which we knew. But they're a good basketball team as well.
Great ball club. Hammond driving left side of the paint, had stripped away but got it back. He is fouled as he goes up for 2. They may be getting Josh McClure on this one. They do. 8th team foul on the Colonels. First one on Josh McClure. Sterling Hammond, the all-state football player, will toe the free throw strike with a chance to unbreak the tie. And that one is good. It gives Essex a 27-26 lead. Changes for both ball clubs.
And let's give Essex credit. They've forced the Colonels to do some things. They're packing that 2-3 zone in.
Yes.
Making them shoot from outside. Colonels were hot early. They've certainly disrupted the offense here in the second quarter.
Yep. Hammond converts both. It's a 2-point Essex lead. Third lead change of the ball game. Down to 42 seconds left to play in the first half. Wouldn't shock me if the Colonels held for 1, especially if Essex still keeps that 2-3 zone intact. No, they bounce it middle of the paint looking for Darius Johnson. Johnson shot deflected, but it'll fall. Darius Johnson lets out a roar, claps the hands, and says, let's go to the teammates. We're tied up again. 28-28.
Well, in that 2-3 zone, one of the gaps of penetration is from the point. Juan very patient and letting Demetrius circle around, get position, get Sterling Hammond on his hip, and go up for the shot. He was fouled by Xavier Lee, but again, nice job by the Colonels offense by Juan and Darius connecting on that play.
Darius Johnson will head to the free throw line. A chance for the old-fashioned three-point play and a chance to snatch the lead back for the Altavista Colonels. 32 seconds left to play in the half. So glad that you have chosen to join us wherever you are. If you're listening on 105.5, if you're listening at kdcountry.com, or if you're listening with the TuneIn app, you're getting your money's worth here tonight, for sure. Tie ball game, 28-28. Here comes the free throw from the right-handed shooting Darius Johnson. It is good. Another Altavista Colonel lead, 29-28. Fourth lead change of the half. We've had 4 ties as well.
And Coach Cardellaro has Darius, Demetrius, and Michi all off the floor with 30 seconds left because they've got 3 fouls. Nice.
Drive there by number 10, Rashawn Monroe. His floater won't go up. He's fouled on the floor. I think this is going to be a 1-and-1. Monroe, a 5'6" guard.
And that's the 9th team foul. Both teams with 9.
Here come the guys with 2 fouls back in the ball game. Darius Johnson, Demetrius Johnson, and Michi Malbeck. Starting 5 out there in the court right now for Altavista. This is a 1-on-1 opportunity for Rashawn Monroe and the Essex Trojans. Shots up. It'll fall. Tied again. 29-29. This is quarterfinal action in the East Region 1A basketball. Virginia High School League tournament.
Lose and go home.
Yep. Monroe takes his time from the stripe. Back iron too strong. Rebounded by Demetrius Johnson right underneath the basketboard. 21 seconds left to play in the first. Colonels may hold for 1 now. Montague catches left wing about 5 feet behind the three-point ring. Darius trying to back down Essex and can't. Lost the basketball. Stripped away. Monroe came out of there with it. Essex is going to get the last look, it looks like. Down to 7 seconds. Hammond trying to bark out some signals to run a play. Down to 4 seconds. Hammond driving, spin move, gets it to the left elbow. Shot up, too strong, and it won't fall down. We are tied after 1 half of basketball. 29-29. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
My friends call me the perfectionist, but English's Building Supply, my neighborhood Glidden paint dealer, they greet me by name. You see, I like to get things exactly right, especially when it comes to my painting projects. So I'm at English's Building Supply a lot, whether it's mixing the perfect Glidden paint for my project or offering great incentives. They do business just the way I like it, perfectly. English's on North Main Street, Altavista.
If you're like me, life changes, and that brings up financial questions. I'm Vivian Brown of First National Bank, and we're excited to offer a new financial answer center that will help you better understand your own needs. It covers various financial topics, offers free quick guides, and if needed, access to a First National Bank employee. So go to our website at 1stnatbk.com and take a look at the new Financial Answer Center. It's a smart resource that could help you bring home more bacon. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show is here. The Altavista Colonels are tied. They led after the first quarter, 18-11, Oscar. And then the exact same score in the second quarter, just a role reversal. Essex outscored Altavista 18-11. Both teams have got 29 points. And I think we've got a long way to go in this one. 2 more quarters of regulation. Even that might not be enough to settle this battle.
Well, it certainly looks not. And after trailing 18-11 at the end of that first quarter, Essex did a wonderful job in the second quarter of taking the Colonels out of their offense and getting a couple of Colonels in foul trouble. You got 3 players with 2 fouls apiece. And you kind of, if you're a Colonels fan, you got to appreciate the fact that Coach Carlero protected them and they didn't pick up a 3rd foul.
Yeah, I think Coach Carlero did the smart thing. He tried to get him in the offensive end there when they were on defense. Coach Carlero tried to sub them out as much as possible. Now, you can't always make it work that way. It's not football. But he was doing the right thing, trying to protect those guys. Let's ask the question now, Oscar, as our good buddy Mike Kinlaw nearly drains the half-court shot. Let's ask the question. Do you think we'll expect to see all those guys with 2 fouls for the entire third quarter? I got to believe so.
I think it's, again, you can't say it enough at this point. Lose and go home, and you can't afford to leave anything on the floor. So I think you got to start them. You got to play them.
And the great thing about having those guys with as much experience as they have, they're all 3 seniors, 5 seniors on the ball club. They played with foul trouble at this point in their careers a lot of times. I know Darius and Demetrius Johnson, used to go through that a little bit more. Their freshman and sophomore and junior years, they used to run into foul trouble a little bit more. Hasn't happened as much this year, but you figured at some point it was going to happen down the road.
Well, that's right.
29-29. We're all tied at halftime. This is the Subway halftime show. Quick timeout, and then we're back with some stats and a little bit more on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Mitch Haley with Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center. I would like to take this time to thank KD Country for the advertising opportunities they have provided me this past year. I would also like to thank our customers for making 2014 such a great year. It is because of your continuous support that we are able to expand our business and offer you more than we ever had in 2015. Come see us today at Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center, where you can shop small and save big.
Visit their newly remodeled showroom on 7th Street.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show returns here from Altavista High School. The Colonels and the Trojans from Essex all tied up 29-29. Again, Colonels led after one quarter of play. Essex with a very good second quarter. We'll see what happens here. Oscar and I will talk about the second half. But don't forget the new grilled chicken strips at Subway. No artificial flavors, no artificial preservatives. All white meat premium cut chicken that is expertly prepared, lightly seasoned, and grilled to perfection. The new grilled chicken strips at Subway. They taste better, and they are better. Fantastic customer service, as always, down at the Main Street location. And, of course, you can eat fresh at Walmart in Altavista as well on Clarion Road.
We ate fresh today.
We did, as always.
And just, we look up and it's tied 29-29. Middlesex is the team that's awaiting the winner of this ball game. They defeated Sussex 60-57. All the other brackets in the East were played. Games were played yesterday, and the seeding played out. Lancaster beat number 2 Lancaster beat number 7 West Point. Number 3 Surrey beat number 6 Cumberland, and Middlesex number 4 beat Sussex number 5. And you got a 1-8 tonight, and boy, is it a barn burner.
It is a barn burner. Coach Cardellaro mentioned in the pregame interview, it's not your typical 1 versus 8 matchup because Essex is so hot. They knocked off 3 really good teams in their conference tournament. If you joined us late, my great buddy Daniel and his lovely bride Dana listening down in King, North Carolina. A lot of people in North Carolina, they listen to us. My good friend Austin Higley, of course, down there in Charlotte. I've already mentioned Jerry Kinlaw. And, of course, Big O has always got the Surfside Beach contingent in South Carolina. So we're well-traveled in the Carolinas, Mr. Briggs, for sure.
No doubt about it. And if you stay with us tonight, because I don't see, unless the Colonels can do something special, which certainly they're capable of. Yeah. This should be a ball game right until the end.
I agree. I mean, I think you got to stay tuned in this one. I know, if you're a diehard Colonel fan, or maybe you're just a sort of an occasional Colonel fan, you're probably saying, Altavista is going to pull away here in the second half, and they very well might. I wouldn't put it past them, but this is a game and ready Essex Trojan ball club, and I have a feeling they are intending to hang around in this one as long as they can. And again, it would be an upset, but that's why you play the game, folks. It's elimination basketball. It's tournament basketball. So glad you could join us on 105.5, or if you're like those people in Carolina listening, probably kdcountry.com or with the TuneIn app. If you listen online, got to thank your Allstate agent, Chris Owen in Lynchburg, for that. Get a quote from Chris today. All right, Oscar, let's go adjustment time here and try and get our heads, or put ourselves inside the head of these two coaches. I don't know. It's not an easy case to just go to the blackboard and start drawing up plays in a game like this.
I don't think it was the best defensive half that we've seen out of the Colonels. I certainly think we've seen more intensity out of them. Looks like they relaxed a little bit that second quarter. Essex pushed them into doing some things offensively they didn't want to do. I think if the Colonels can go back, be patient, start to feed the big boys inside, the Johnson twins and Donovan, and turn up the intensity on defense, I think they're going to be okay.
I think they'll be okay, too. You're right. Altavista defensively, it wasn't a bad first half effort, but it wasn't the best first half of defense that we've seen from the Colonels. And probably if you look at the last 3 weeks of basketball, probably ranks towards the lower end of defensive efforts from Altavista. And I don't know what to make of it other than maybe the strange schedule, although Essex had to deal with the schedule changes too. And perhaps just the Trojans' speed and quickness with the dribble. They got great bursts when they catch and make a move to the basket. And they're all very quick. I mean, even the Trojans' big men, Alex Peterson, 6'3", and Sadar Calhoun is 6'3". They're quick. They play like guards. They're probably better off to call them wings rather than post players.
You know, I'm going to say this, and you're probably going to slap me, but from an athleticism perspective, it looks very much like a Dan River team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not quite as long.
I didn't try and slap you for that.
No, maybe not as quite as long throughout depth of the lineup, but they certainly have enough between Hammond, Peterson, and who's the other kid? Calhoun, that you alluded to. All those kids have enough length to disrupt what the Colonels want to do.
Yeah, that's right. As the Subway halftime show concludes here, Mr. Briggs, fire off some halftime scoring numbers for us, if you would.
Michi Malbeck with 6, Juan Thornhill with 4, Donovan Montague with 3, Demetrius Johnson with 1, Darius with 10, Nelson Dews with 3, Josh McClure with 2, total of 29 for the Colonels. For Essex Trojans, very nice distributions there. Monroe with 4, Malik Martin with 6, Sadar Calhoun with 3, Sterling Hammond with 9, Devontae Moore with 3, and Alex Peterson with 4.
Third quarter about to get underway. We're all tied at halftime, 29-29. Buckle your seatbelts, cinch up that chin strap a little bit tighter, and get ready for one good half of basketball here. Trojans come out in the 2-3 zone again. They bounce it middle of the paint to Darius Johnson. This is Altavista basketball. Malbeck wants to try the 3. That did not hit iron. It was contested. Essex going the other way on the attack. This is Sardar Calhoun. Oh, leaner off the window and in. We're Essex with the 31-29 lead. Boy, I don't know how Calhoun got it off. He hit the deck hard after making the shot. Tough shot there by Calhoun to get it to go and give Essex the lead.
Now, keep in mind, last year in the regional final, Altavista trailed Surrey 36-30 at the half and went on and blew them out. So it's certainly not in the realm in the realm of possibility that can't happen as well.
Excellent point. Essex scores first, 31-29. Altavista basketball in the front court. Thornhill's just going to walk it to his left between the circles, actually in the half-court circle. Malbeck catches it in front of the Colonel bench. That's the far sideline for us, left sideline for the offense. 31-29, 7 minutes left to play in the Select Air third quarter. Thornhill fakes the 3. Malbeck doesn't fake it. He wants to try it. In and out, no good.
In and out is right. The thing went down.
Half of that basketball might have been down. Rashawn Monroe with the rebound for the Essex Trojans. Here comes Calhoun now. Long sleeves, works it between the circles, guarded by Demetrius Johnson. Johnson's giving him about a 5-foot cushion. Essex leads by 2. Crossover move by Calhoun. Now we'll back it out using the right-hand dribble. Sends it along the right sideline to Monroe. Monroe driving baseline quickly. Shot attempt hit the side of the backboard. Colonel's going the other way after the Malbeck rebound. Juan to the dish, leaves it off for Darius Johnson, but Thornhill is fouled while he was still on the ground. On the floor foul here, first one of the half, first one on Essex, and it's the second personal foul on Rashawn Monroe for the Trojans.
And really, Essex doing a really nice job buttoning down the Johnson brothers. I mean, they are, again, they've got Peterson and Calhoun, both 6'3", 6'4", and they're giving fits to the Johnson.
Yeah, they both scored a little bit, but probably not their usual offensive output. Thornhill trying the 3 and scoring the 3. Juan Thornhill, left wing, 3 ball gives the Colonels a lead, 32-31.
And look for that to spark a little run here by the Colonels.
Thornhill doesn't hit many threes, but he's certainly capable. He's got Hammond trapped in the corner. Hammond gets it to the top of the key for Peterson, and Peterson is fouled. Good defense by Malbeck and Thornhill to just bottle up Hammond in that far corner there, but the foul there on Darius Johnson is his 3rd. As Peterson was catching the pass at the top of the key.
Darius got to be careful now that he doesn't pick up his 4th.
Yeah, he's all over Peterson right now. They whistle the foul. No, they call a timeout. Coach James Moore wants to take the timeout for the Essex Trojans. Let's take it to 1 point. Colonel lead, 32-31. 5:53 left to play here on 105.5 KD Country.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today. El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
32-31. Colonels ahead by 1 in the third quarter. 5:53 left to play in it. Long inbound pass collected by Calhoun at midcourt. Now right wing goes to Hammond. Back to Calhoun, right of center, about 35 feet away from the bucket. Now to Hammond in the corner. Go ahead, Oscar.
Colonels look like they're back in the zone again.
Might be in that zone. Either whatever defense they're in, it got a turnover. Demetrius Johnson with the steal. The foul there as Malback was trying to get out of the backcourt. He's whacked by Sterling Hammond on the left arm.
I think I was getting ready to say that's on Sterling Hammond. That's his second.
Jimmy V said survive and advance. I say elimination basketball, win or go home. Any way you phrase it, it's the same thing right now here. March basketball. Got to keep winning. Thornhill, another three is good. Bullseye for Juan Thornhill from the left wing. Juan with back-to-back threes gives the Colonels a 4-point lead. Thornhill not really thought of as a long-distance shooter, but don't let that fool you, folks. He drains 2 big ones here.
I don't know that he's got 2 in a game this year yet.
I think he does. Turnover there by the Essex Trojans.
And again, here it is. The Colonels are turning up that defense.
They're ratcheting up the intensity to level 10. The fans feel it. We feel it. Altavista looking to explode. Thornhill giving the crowd reason to cheer. He catches again left wing. How big would a Thornhill dunk be right now? Or dunk from anybody for that matter.
Huge.
Malback, NBA range three, just off the front of the iron, collected nicely at the free throw line by Montague. Michi, scoop layup won't fall. Tip in by Darius Johnson will fall. Just stuck the right hand up and just tapped it back to the front of the rim for 2. 37-31. Colonels on a big-time run here. 8 points.
If you coach James Moore, you got to think about a timeout. If they don't score here and the Colonels do, you've got to call it.
I would think so, and you're right. This has the definite looks of his own defense from Altavista. They throw it into Hammond. Free throw line, Hammond with a nice dish. Baseline to Peterson, and Peterson from the left side of the hoop gets the 2-pointer. Finally, Essex was able to stop that bleeding there. 37-30. Colonels still on top by 4. Montague catches just inside the right sideline. Bounces it to Demetrius Johnson right in front of us here, right corner. That's court to Thornhill.
And Essex has knocked them out of that 2-3 zone.
Been in it all night. They may have gone into a man there at the very end of the half. Johnson off the side of the backboard on his 5-foot shot attempt. Essex going the other way quickly. Monroe will slow it down and gather some support from the rest of the team. To Hammond at the free throw line. Hammond driving, off-balance right-hander, won't fall.
Nice job by Donovan Montague, bending, and not picking up the foul on that play.
Yeah, excellent defense from Donnie. Behind the back dribble from Darius Johnson. Now they send it down low to Montague. Bounce pass to the streaking Darius Johnson. Johnson fouled as he heads to the bucket.
Boy, and how did Donovan get that bounce pass through? I mean, he was cutting. That thing got through 2 Essex defenders to send Darius to the line for 2. Colonels leading 37-33. 3:44 remaining here in the third quarter.
Third personal foul on Sadar Calhoun. Calhoun hit that first 3 for Essex. He wears the purple long sleeves, and he'll come out for a substitute. DeJuan Smith back in the game. For the Colonels, it's their starting 5 on the hardwood right now. Juan Thornhill, Michi Malback, the brothers Johnson, Darius and Demetrius, and Donovan Montague. Darius makes the back end there, extending the lead a bit, 38-33. He'll come out for a much-needed breather.
And I think we've only seen 7 Colonels play tonight. I think that McClure and Mateo Malback are the only 2 that have seen action off the bench.
Nelson Deuce came in off the bench as well and hit the 3. Peterson, baseline shot from the right side, won't fall. He's hacked on the second chance. And I believe they're going to get Donovan Montague with the bang on the head.
That's what it looked like from here, and that's his first. Peterson will go to the line and shoot 2.
It's good news there.
38-33, and Essex refusing to go away. Colonels looked like they were going on a little run, and Essex coming fighting back.
First free throw off the side of the iron for Peterson. Essex, a lot of fight in this ball club. Fans have been loud, been on their feet at times. $7 will get you the whole seat in the playoffs, but you only need the edge of it. Basketball is always free on the radio on 105.5 or at kdcountry.com, thanks to our sponsors. Second one up for Peterson. Just barely nicked the front of the iron.
Boy, as good as his stroke looks, those 2 free throws looked awful.
Yep. Colonels on the attack in the front court. Thornhill thought about another 3. Chest pass to Donovan Montague. He throws it right-hand block for Demetrius Johnson. Last touch off Demetrius. He can't believe it. Essex ball. They are working right to left from our perspective here, courtside at Altavista High School. South to north as we're sort of in the corner down here. One-hand bounce pass, right wing goes to Cavante Moore. Back to Monroe, right of center.
They are in
Looks
that
like a
2-3.
zone.
They
Yep.
are in that 2-3 zone.
Looks
Kyle.
like a zone for the Altavista Colonels. Three-pointer up from Moore. Side of the iron, no good. Malback gets the rebound at the free throw line. Going the other way. Michi lost the handle momentarily. Scoop layup won't fall. Recovered by Hammond, and looks like Essex on the attack. 4-on-2 fast break. Hammond, fadeaway jumper, no good. Not the best shot selection there with the numbers. Thornhill on the rebound, coming the other side. Malback catches in the corner in front of us. Double team momentarily. Michi, step back, NBA three is good. Michi, Malback. The defense covered him. Then they backed off and left him alone. And Michi says, not a wise choice to leave this sharpshooter alone. 41-33. Colonels up by 8.
No, he might have missed 2 or 3, but the next one's going down. The next one's going down. The next one's going down.
That's right.
And that's a shooter's mentality, and you got to have it.
Michi has just that, pound for pound. Not going to find many better than the guard, Michi Malback. 17-foot baseline jumper, too strong for Essex, and here comes Malback the other side. Colonel's threatening to make it a double-digit lead now. Malback, ball fake at the free throw line. Kicks to Thornhill. Thornhill for 3, too strong. McClure there on the rebound and the stick back. Altavista leading by 10, 43-33.
Boy, and again, they're doing it with defense and on the boards. And that's got enough. That's got Coach Moore's attention. Colonel's leading 43-33. 2 minutes remaining. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. You're listening to WKDE 105.5 KD Country.
Life happens. Divorce, family problems, criminal charges, civil litigation, personal injury cases. Turn to David W. Shreve, an experienced attorney at law. David W. Shreve has been practicing law for 30-plus years. Free consultation for personal injury cases. Call today, 369-6621. 369-6621. David W. Shreve. Good luck to the Altavista basketball team in the playoffs. Go Colonels. David W. Shreve, located 7th Street, Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
We were tied at halftime, 29-29. We ain't tied anymore. The Altavista Colonels have raced out to a 10-point lead, 43-33. We could kind of feel that it was coming, Oscar, but we said Essex, a lot of fight. They're not going away easily, and they haven't. But the Colonels, they've turned it up to level 10 and then some. Great basketball here in the third quarter. Malback with the steal. He just picked Malik Martin's pocket. Martin never saw him coming. Malback going to get fouled by Martin as Malik Martin trying to get the basketball back. Michi Malback with the crafty play, like a thief in the night, just came up from behind Malik Martin.
And again, showed what great speed, what great athleticism he has. He came from way back. He came from backcourt to make that steal.
Impressive play. Colonels basketball in the front court again. Malback, another NBA three. That one a little too short. Rebound was high off the rim. And McClure can't grab the board, and I think they're going to whistle McClure.
Yeah, interesting that call was made from near the scoreboard, and we had an official right here 3 feet away from the play.
43-33, Colonels lead by 10. Another steal from Malback. Malback right side had it swatted away by Rashawn Monroe. Good recovery by Monroe there to get back and just whack it right out of Malback's hands. Boy, Michi Malback really putting his stamp on this one, Oscar.
Monroe shows some kind of closing speed.
Thornhill, lob play to the front of the rim. Pass was a little short, and he took some body contact as well. No whistle on that, but there's a whistle on the second chance try from Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius whacked hard, and he will head to the free throw line.
Boy, you can look at the backcourt. Number 1 and number 2 for the Colonels, and number 24 and number 10 for Essex. Having a little debate, I think.
I think there's a debate there. I seriously doubt it was about world peace or budget conflicts or anything like that. 44-33, Colonels lead by 11. Demetrius sinks the first one. 91 seconds left to play in the Select Air third quarter. Call 332-2600. That's 332-2600 for Select Air Mechanical and Electrical. Second free throw stays up on the rim for a while and then finally does fall down for Demetrius Johnson. 45-33, Colonels up.
With only 1:27 remaining here in the third quarter. 4 points allowed by the Colonels in this quarter.
That's impressive. That is lockdown defense for sure. Malik Stevenson in trouble. Gets it to a teammate. That's Peterson. His jumper from 10 feet in front of the iron, no good. Malback out in front of the defense, goes for the lay-in. Hit hard on the shoulder and the left arm. Hits the deck. Ball never really got out of his hands. But Michi Malback has thrown things into another gear, folks. He hit the NBA range 3. He's come up with multiple big defensive steals. He's heading to the bucket quickly with reckless abandon.
Boy, he is, and again, it's been Michi's played a huge part in this third quarter in that surge, especially with his defense.
Yeah, great defense, great burst from Malbeck. Surge, without a doubt. Michi's first free throw goes in, 46-33. Colonels lead now by 13, 1:11 left to play. Second one, back iron, no good. Rebounded by McClure, middle of the paint. Shot up, won't fall. He's fouled. He's going to the free throw line again. Colonels have been stationed at that charity stripe a bunch in the third quarter.
They really have, and boy, Josh McClure continues to pound the boards on both ends of the floor.
Blue collar McClure didn't get that nickname for no reason. McClure works hard out there, just a sophomore. Right-handed shooters. First free throw is up and good.
Kyle, 5 out of 7 for the Colonels from the free throw line in the third quarter.
They've been there a bunch, too. 1:11 left to play in the third. 47-33. Second one falls down for McClure. 48-33. Substitutions for the Trojans. On the court right now for them, they have number 13, DeJuan Smith, Sterling Hammond, Cavante Moore, Terrell Hundley, and Alex Peterson. Colonels have Malbeck, Thornhill, Demetrius Johnson, Montague, and Josh McClure. 48-33, Altavista on top. Essex basketball in the front court. 60 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Hammond looking for help, picks up his dribble at the top of the key, finds it in Hundley. Back to Hammond, just a little left of center, 30 feet away from the bucket. Zone defense again from Altavista. Right wing, it goes to Moore. Moore lost it, blocked away by Thornhill. Ball is loose. McClure picks it up, put one knee on the ground. Essex fans thought it should have been a travel, but the officials say he had 1 foot up and 1 knee down, so that's okay. Stood up with the ball.
Down to 30 seconds. Juan Thornhill's got the ball at half court, got it on his hip.
Takes the pass, going to hold it there on his right hip again. Hasn't used the dribble yet. Soft double team comes out to make him do something. Juan will get it back from a return pass there from Donovan Montague.
Look for 19 seconds. Look for a penetrating kick here.
Montague, right-hand wing, down into McClure in the corner. Back to Monty. Monty's about 10 feet away behind the three-point arc. Down low it goes to Demetrius Johnson. Spin move, shot won't fall. Gets it back, shot up again, hit the side of the iron but won't go in. Demetrius to the free throw line with 5 seconds left to play in the third.
And again, credit Josh McClure for keeping that ball alive and giving Demetrius his chance to go to the line.
Yeah, it was McClure with the hustle play again on the redirect there. Demetrius, first one falls in. 49-33. 5 seconds left to play in the Select Air third quarter. Coach Cardallero barking out some instructions. He's in his usual dark gray pants, black long sleeve turtleneck. Gonna whistle Thornhill with the free throw line violation. Free throw didn't go in anyway, and Essex got the rebound, so I guess it's all for naught, negate the penalties more or less. Juan trying to get a head start to grab the rebound. Hammond catches, going to bring it up near sideline. Down to 2 seconds. Hammond still with the basketball. Fade away, 18-footer, a little too strong. Third quarter is done, and it was a fantastic third quarter for the home team. We were tied at half. Altavista leads 49-33 going into the final frame. Fourth quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus company, Sunny Merriman Incorporated, along with their employees and families, joined together to congratulate the Altavista High School athletic teams for their outstanding sports seasons. Sunny Merriman wishes you the best in the playoffs and in your quest to bring home more state championship trophies to our community. Go Colonels, make us proud.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
49-33, Altavista on top. One more quarter of basketball to play. One more quarter of regulation. I would not put it past the Essex Trojans to get right back in this ball game and start making a furious comeback attempt. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Packed house here from Altavista High School. I'm telling you, OB, I don't think you'll find a better atmosphere for high school hoops in the state. I'll go ahead and throw that out right now.
No, and let's make one more point. Should the Colonels come continue this, what they've started and win the ball game, they will be at home tomorrow night. That'll be the last time.
Yeah, the region championship game is local. It's at William Campbell, but the last home game, you're right, would be tomorrow night. Got to get out and see this team.
Well, and it wouldn't be unprecedented if something happens, Colonels were to come out and lose, and it wouldn't be unprecedented to have it moved from William Campbell somewhere closer to the other teams.
Right. Peterson scores an early bucket there for Essex. They get the fourth quarter started off on the right foot. Thornhill thought about the penetration, but gives it up the free throw line. Darius Johnson has it now, left post extended. Over to Malback, right of center. Michi, shake and bake move. Pulls up at the three-point line. Now left wing over to Donovan Montague. Michi, head fake move. Looks like a man-to-man defense now from Essex. Demetrius driving, tried to whip it over to Donovan Montague, but it's stolen away by Sterling Hammond. Hammond in transition, shot blocked away by Montague. Donovan Montague with the rejection, nearly sent it out into the front lobby. 7:12 left to play in the fourth. It's a 49-35 Colonel lead.
A little bit of a mismatch. DeJuan Smith was on Demetrius Johnson on that play and couldn't take advantage of it.
Colonel steal the inbound pass. Malback coming the other way, right side of the paint. Layup won't fall. Stick back by Demetrius Johnson won't fall. He's got another chance at it. Lost it over his head. Grabs that loose ball. Goes up. Fouled. Demetrius saying, what do I got to do to get a bucket here? He's working hard underneath the hoop, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Boy, that's been the difference in the second half.
Now you get some pushing and shoving going on there as Demetrius was going to the free throw line. Officials jump right in between it.
And that was Sterling Hammond. And again, Sterling, a senior, of course, and
Sterling Hammond, I think, was heading to the low block where he's going to be stationed on the free throw. Demetrius heading to the free throw line. Neither one wanted to get out of the other's way. They have to get separated by some teammates and some officials. 49-35, Colonels lead by 14. Under 7 minutes to play in regulation. They lead by 15 now as Demetrius drains the first. Again, it was tied at halftime, 29-29. Colonels went on a 20-2 run in the third quarter. Second free throw, no good. It's tracked down by Donovan Montague in the right corner. Backdoor pass to Malback. Michi, pull up 14-footer.
Oh, my goodness.
Covered in midair by Demetrius Johnson. Michi's shot was blocked, and Demetrius grabbed it in midair almost like an alley-oop and stuck it back in for two. Free ball up from the Trojans, just a little short. Rebounded by Darius Johnson underneath the hoop. Thornhill running the fast break. Shake and bake. Gets by Hammond. Fakes the pass. Finger roll finish for the Magic Man. He faked the pass there, held the basketball all the way out in the right arm extended, pulled it back in like a yo-yo, and then finished with the finger roll.
That was absolutely filthy, and that's the only way I know how to describe it.
Colonels lead by 19. Free throw line, Jay, from Peterson, no good, but he was bounced in the right shoulder there by Demetrius Johnson. So Alex Peterson going to toe the free throw line for Essex. Filthy is right. Thornhill, full speed in transition. Showed the basketball to the defense like he was going to make a one-handed pass, then just reeled it back in like a trout on the end of a fishing line.
I don't know how it held on to the
reel
ball.
it back off. I don't know either. It was in his fingertips that he was faking the pass. Talk about a ball fake. We see that from Thornhill when he's running the option play out there on the football field, but that was something else there on the basketball court. Free throw good on the first attempt by Alex Peterson. 6'3", sophomore power forward for the Essex Trojans. Second one on the way. Peterson takes a long time on the free throw, now finally rises and fires for the second shot attempt. Won't go in. Colonels lead by 18. Thornhill, fast break again. Pulls up the free throw line, leaves it off for Darius Johnson. Johnson with the right hand finish from point-blank range is good. 20-point lead for the Altavista Colonels. Still got 6 to play in the fourth quarter. Calhoun, scoop layup after the up and under move won't fall. Second chance won't fall. Just pokes at it towards the rim. And now the third time is the charm for Sardar Calhoun. 56-38. Colonels on top by 18. Thornhill trying to drive. He's cut off, but there's a foul again on Calhoun, I believe. That should be his fourth, I think, Oscar.
And that's the 10th team foul. That puts the Colonels into the double bonus for the remainder of the game. And quite frankly, that may be Essex's best option. It's stopping this Colonel's freight train. Is making them go to the free throw line and just start hacking.
Got to box out on the missed free throws, though, because as we know, the Colonels can get on that offensive glass with the best of them. First free throw knocked down by Juan Thornhill. On the court right now for the Colonels, you have Josh McClure, Michi Malback, Juan Thornhill, and Darius and Demetrius Johnson. Colonels moving left to right from our perspective, or north to south, away from Bedford Avenue. Thornhill converts both. He's going to step right up on that baseline and guard Hammond as he throws it inbounds. Juan backpedaling down the court with Hammond in his sights. Now he'll let him go a little bit. Peterson has it along the baseline for the Essex Trojans. Shot off the side of the iron, won't fall. Loose ball collected by Thornhill. Thornhill wanted to get out and run, but he's bodied up along the right sideline. And Juan Thornhill going to head back to the free throw line to shoot another pair of free throws. 58-38. Colonels lead by 20.
And the fouls are starting to pile up on Essex, too.
Yeah. That's going to really get them behind the 8 ball. That's the 4th foul on Rashawn Monroe. First free throw in and out, no good by Juan Thornhill. Again, Altavista leads by a full 20 points. If you were listening earlier and then you tuned away, that may shock you a little bit. We were tied at halftime. But now Altavista used a really good third quarter to springboard them, and they've been pretty good in the first couple minutes of this fourth quarter. Thornhill makes the back end there, 1 of 2 on that trip. Altavista up 21. Essex has got to go, and they've got to go in every way possible. Hammond driving. Leaves off for Peterson. Nice lob pass down to the low post by Hammond to Peterson. Count that basket there by Alex Peterson.
Well, that's a nicely designed play. Really one of the few times in the second half that they've been able to get into an offense. Colonels have done a good job. Number one, they went to the zone, and that's really when the spurts really started.
Thornhill with a crossover move that drew some serious oohs and ahs from the crowd.
Sterling Hammond moved the other defender over and said, I got him.
Yep. Colonels overloaded that left side momentarily. Juan, dribble drive to the left side, throws it away on the pass. He was looking for Michi Malback on the left sideline, but the defense from Rashawn Monroe prevented Michi, I think, from seeing where the ball was coming from.
As always at these Colonels games, you always see a lot of Altavista players that have extra players that have returned. Devin McCray down here sitting to our left.
Big-time Colonel fan. He comes to pretty much every home game.
Pretty good player in his day, too.
No kidding. Monroe has it. Right point for Essex. I think the Colonels are still in that zone, Oscar. 3 ball up from Hundley is blocked away. Altavista, 3-on-1 fast break. Malback tried to lob it up to the rim for
Coach Carlo.
On the jam.
And Coach Carlo didn't like that at all. He's going to call a timeout. We'll take it with him. Colonels lead 59-40. You're listening to WKD KD Country 105.5.
Does it seem that most stores don't care about good service these days? Well, at English's Building Supply, good service is still the king. They greet me with a smile, help me select the highest quality Glidden paint, provide expert color matching, and even carry my paint to the car. They help me get the job done right and make it last. At English's Building Supply, the customer is still king. English's Hardware and Building Supply, North Main Street, Altavista.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
19-point lead for the Altavista Colonels. 4.5 left to play in the Select Air fourth quarter. Repairs, new installations too. Select Air does it all with prompt and courteous service. Call 332-2600. Essex basketball after the turnover there from the Altavista Colonels. Coach Mike Cardallero burning the timeout. Just wanted to settle the team down a little bit. Thornhill takes the offensive foul again. Hammond extended the left arm. Thornhill maybe in the running for the Best Actor award there because he did sell it a little bit. Maybe. You got to credit the deuce, Juan Thornhill, there with the crafty move.
He went down like he got a left hook from Floyd Mayweather or something. His feet went flying out from under.
19-point lead for Altavista. That's the 4th one on Hammond. Essex has a lot of guys with 4. Now they have one guy with 5. Sterling Hammond with the reaching in foul. His night is going to be done 4 minutes and 7 seconds early. Hammond is out. Hammond does a little mock applause to Thornhill there, I guess, saying, hey, you got my vote from the Academy Award. Thornhill going to head back to the free throw line. He spent a lot of time there in the fourth quarter. Altavista leads by 19, 4:07 left to play.
And the Colonel fans standing up and giving them 5 signal. But you know what? That's the end of a high school career, football, basketball, of a tremendous athlete, class act. I hate to see Sterling Hammond foul out of this ball game, but kudos to him. He's had a great career.
Absolutely. Hammond scored that big touchdown late for Essex. And if they could have got the 2-point conversion, they would have tied it up. Free throw first time for Thornhill. First attempt, off the back iron, no good. 4:07 left to play in regulation. Again, Colonels would be at home tomorrow night. Last home game for Altavista. Second one too strong, but McClure rebounds 14 feet away from the hoop. Another offensive board for Altavista. If Essex is entertaining serious comeback notions, they can't let that happen. They got to grab every defensive rebound. Backdoor cut by Malbeck. He can't finish. Blocked away by Cavante Moore on the left side of the hoop. Essex transition quickly. Hundley had it swatted straight down by Thornhill. Calhoun, second chance to go. Juan rises up with the left hand to grab the defensive board. Thornhill with some powerful moves and acrobatic, too.
That was an acrobatic rebound.
He's going to settle down everybody. Thornhill driving, lost the basketball for a moment. Sends it left corner to Montague. Montague, backdoor cut, finds Demetrius Johnson. Johnson, one head fake. Shot is blocked away. Out of bounds now by Essex as Terrell Hundley grabbed the rebound but fell on the baseline there. Altavista to inbound, baseline left underneath their scoring hoop.
Again, Peterson and Calhoun have done a very, very good job defending against the brothers Johnson tonight.
They have. Demetrius and Darius Johnson have been somewhat limited at times. They've still had an impact in this ball game, though, for sure. McClure catches in the left corner on the inbound play from Thornhill. Now he just hands it off to Juan. Juan shovels it backward to Josh McClure. McClure running the baseline. Dumps it off to Demetrius Johnson. Free throw line extended. That's Darius Johnson. 3:05 left to go in the Select Air fourth quarter. Colonels have the floor spread.
And they're in no hurry.
Looks a little bit like the old North Carolina four corners. No shot clock here either.
And Essex not coming out of that 2-3 zone.
Run off as much time as you want. Yeah, McClure holding the ball along the far sideline there. Now he'll drive to the free throw line. Kicks to the right-hand corner to Donovan Montague. Now it's in Michi Malbeck's hands. Michi's going to drive. He's looking for Darius Johnson, but that pass is swatted away and stolen by Alex Peterson. Peterson going to run the fast break himself. Lost it in the front court. Throws it really to nobody in particular, but Cavante Moore recovers for Essex. Now this is Malik Martin. Martin, pull up three. No. Chest pass to Rashawn Moore. Back to Martin. Essex got to get some shots up in a hurry. We got 2:20 left in this game. That time it gets sent toward the rim, but no good. Martin recovers the loose ball. Now Juan Thornhill just snatches the basketball, hugs it to protect it, waves everybody off. Essex not even doing anything in the backcourt, no full court pressure. And now you're going to get another timeout from head coach Mike Carvalera. Let's take it with him. 2:08 left to play in the ball game. Colonels lead by 19 on 105.5 KD Country.
Have you looked at your business banking fees lately? I'm Sean Stone with First National Bank, and we have the best business accounts which offer serious savings for your company. We have a full menu of business products from checking accounts and remote deposit capture to online banking. And we have a local merchant card representative who will customize services just for your business. So let First National Bank prepare an analysis of your current activity and show how we will reduce your banking fees. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
59-40, the Colonels lead by 19 points. Just over 2 minutes left to play in the ball game. We were tied at halftime. It was back-and-forth basketball. This game has seen 6 lead changes, 5 ties, Oscar. But when you look at the scoreboard right now, it's hard to tell that.
Yeah, Colonels on a 30-9 run. They were trailing 31-29.
Yeah.
And since then, it's been all Colonels.
Yeah, Colonels only gave up 4 points in the third quarter. Held Essex to 4 points, and Essex scored first in that quarter. So it was a 20-2 run after that. Thornhill will inbound, left sideline. Near sideline for us. Gets it to Demetrius Johnson. Right back to Juan. Juan trying to drive the baseline. Reverse lay-in won't fall. Rebound is still loose. Now collected by Demetrius Johnson. Hook shot attempt won't go, and there's a foul on Darius Johnson trying to grab that second rebound. Coach Mike Carvalero can't believe it. 4 on Darius Johnson. We're under 2 minutes to play, and the Colonels are up 19, so it may not matter, Oscar.
No, and Demetrius couldn't believe it didn't go in. He had 2 good looks, and the second time the ball went down and came back out.
Essex is not in a big hurry to shoot and score. That shot attempt blocked away by Cavante Moore, and here comes Donovan Montague. Montague to the side of the iron, lay-in is good. I thought Donnie might take off for the dunk, but he just chose the conventional layup, and that's fine, too. It gives the Colonels a 21-point advantage. 90 seconds left to play in the ball game. Peterson driving to his left across the defense. He is fouled, won't get the shot up. This is on the floor.
They're calling that on Darius.
Fifth one on Darius Johnson, his fifth, so his night is done 90 seconds early. Great game for Darius Johnson. Colonels lead by 21.
Fouls out with 15 points. Brother Demetrius is joining him.
We said Darius was limited a little bit, still got 15 points, and Darius has been over the 15-point mark this year 8 times. Thornhill behind the back dish to Nelson Dews, and Nelson with the right hand finish from the right side of the paint. The Magic Man doing it again, this time with the behind the back dish.
And Juan at the beginning, he had designs. He was open. He probably could have dunked that ball, but that's just his unselfishness and what a team player he is and has always been. And Essex has put Dondre Harris in the ball game. And those of you that don't know about Dondre, he played football, 7 feet tall. Now the Colonels are clearing their starters, Kyle.
Colonels have put in a fresh 5. Well, Nelson Dews will stay, excuse me. Joining him are Josh McClure, Chancellor Mormon, Mateo Malback, and Lawrence Gallion. Yeah, the big man, number 50, Dondre Harris, listed at 7 feet. I think in football they had him at 400 pounds, and make no mistake about it, he's a big man. He's stationed in the middle of that defense right now. I think he's kind of just playing a one-man zone.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's occupying that center paint.
Yep.
He's going out after Josh McClure.
McClure probably didn't like to see that coming. McClure, a little head fake, shake and bake move. McClure just trying to buy a little bit of space. 40 seconds left to play.
Give Harris that. He hasn't given up.
63-40. Colonels lead by 23, and some of the student section from Altavista is chanting just like football. This one was a little bit more of a blowout than that most recent football game, that's for sure. Down to 20 seconds left to play. Mormon guarded tightly. Colonels are not looking to shoot, just looking to run out the clock. Mormon throws across court to McClure. That's going to pretty much do it. McClure going to have to avoid the 5-second count. Crowd rises to his feet to applaud this home team right here. The Altavista Colonels, in a game that was tied at halftime, they get a blowout win, 63-40. Subway post-game show on the way. Altavista over Essex. You heard it all on 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellers Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Hello, this is Mitch Haley with Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center. I would like to take this time to thank KD Country for the advertising opportunities they have provided me this past year. I would also like to thank our customers for making 2014 such a great year. It is because of your continuous support that we are able to expand our business and offer you more than we ever had in 2015. Come see us today at Altavista Appliance, Home and Lawn Center, where you can shop small and save big.
Visit their newly remodeled showroom on 7th Street.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905. Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more. Pre-arrangements with confidence, trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels win 63-40 over the Essex Trojans. I'm Kyle Haney. He's Oscar Briggs. Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, back at home base, making it all happen. Glad you could tune in and hear this one. This is the Subway postgame show. Oscar, 63-40. Colonels win. It was tied at halftime. Altavista outscored Essex 34-11 in the second half. Held the Trojans to 4 points in the third quarter, 7 points in the fourth quarter. That is a defensive effort that most teams dream of.
Well, and we talked about at the half when it was tied 29-all. What did the Colonels have to do? And you know, we talked about it. And defense is what we had said, that the first half was probably as bad a defensive half as they played all year. That second half was the exact opposite. You give up 11 points to this Essex team, and they only had 2 players score in the fourth quarter. Actually, in the second half, they only had 11 points, and they only had 2 players score in the second half. That's just impressive team defense.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. That's lockdown defense. That's just lock you up and throw away the key, you know, put you in the straitjacket, and then the chains on top of that, Houdini style. And Essex could not pull the Houdini. They could not get out of the lockdown defense. And the Colonels, certainly with their share of fireworks there in the second half to spark their ball club. Malbeck really turned it up, hit some big threes. Thornhill hit the back-to-back threes. He was dishing, distributing, doing everything. Colonels much better on the glass in that second half too, Oscar.
Well, that's right, and they you know, again, credit a lot of that. Josh McClure came in, and the brothers Johnson, of course, won. Thornhill hit the boards hard. Donnie hit the boards hard. Just a little bit more focus, it appeared, in the second half than they had in the first.
Colonels advance on to play tomorrow in the region semifinal. They host Middlesex. That game is here tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Subway pregame show is on around 6:10. And as we said before, we'll say it again. We'll probably say it a few more times in the next segment of the Subway postgame show. Last chance to see the Colonels at home. Anybody that is driving around, maybe you're not an Altavista fan, maybe you're just a basketball fan, I'm telling you, in 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 years, you're going to want to say you saw this team play in person, folks.
Well, that's right. And, again, back-to-back state champions going for their third. And you got to believe that certainly the first half was a little bit of a wake-up call for them as it came in and tied 29-29. You got to believe that, again, that there's a little bit of a wake-up call.
I think you're exactly right. I think it'll be interesting to find out from Coach Carlero what exactly was said at halftime, and I'll be sure to ask him that tomorrow on the Subway pregame show. This is the Subway postgame show. We're going to give you a chance to win with Subway right after the timeout. Make sure you like KD Country on Facebook. When we come back from the commercial break, I'm going to give you the word. All you got to do is post it to the KD Country Facebook, and you're entered into a chance to win a foot-long meal deal courtesy of Subway. That's next on the Subway pregame show. Colonels win by 23 over Essex. You heard it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoons, so you can buy anytime, any day, 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
Life happens. Divorce, family problems, criminal charges, civil litigation, personal injury cases. Turn to David W. Shreve, an experienced attorney at law. David W. Shreve has been practicing law for 30-plus years. Free consultation for personal injury cases. Call today, 369-6621. 369-6621. David W. Shreve. Good luck to the Altavista basketball team in the playoffs. Go Colonels. David W. Shreve, located 7th Street, Altavista.
Virginia's oldest and most experienced bus company, Sunny Merriman Incorporated, along with their employees and families, join together to congratulate the Altavista High School athletic teams for their outstanding sports seasons. Sunny Merriman wishes you the best in the playoffs and in your quest to bring home more state championship trophies to our community. Go Colonels, make us proud.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Final segment of the Subway postgame show happens right now. And I'll give you your chance to win with Subway right now. It's going to be a phrase this time, folks. Post the phrase final home game to the KD Country Facebook page, and you'll be entered into a chance to win yourself a foot-long meal deal courtesy of Subway in Altavista. Again, the phrase I'm looking for this time is final home game. That's what we have on our hands tomorrow. Final home game will be here, 6:30. Middlesex will be in town. They are, again, another team from the eastern part of the state out there around Essex, and should be a very good ball club. We'll get the full scouting report from Coach Carlero tomorrow, but it will be the final home game tomorrow. I want you to post that phrase to the KD Country Facebook for your chance to win with Subway. And this is the Subway post-game show. And let's say it once again. If you haven't seen this Colonel Ball Club before, if you've only seen them once or twice, if you've been to every game, it really doesn't matter. Last chance to see them here at Altavista. Now, the region championship game is scheduled to be hosted at William Campbell, so that's local. But there's also no guarantee that you get there. And as we saw tonight, Oscar, anything can happen.
Yeah, if you win tomorrow night, you're certainly guaranteed to go to Richmond on Monday, and stay tuned with us. We'll give you more details about that. If they win tomorrow night, you'll see some odd times that they play Monday for the state semifinals. Scoring rundown. First for the Colonels. Mickey Malbeck with 10. Juan Thornhill with 15. Donovan Montague with 5. Demetrius Johnson with 7. Darius Johnson with 15. Nelson Dews with 5. Josh McClure with 6. A total of 63 for the Colonels. For Essex, Rashawn Moore with Monroe with 4, Malik Martin with 6, Calhoun with 7, Sterling Hammond with 9, Devontae Moore with 3, and Alex Peterson with 11. And again, only 2 players scored in the second half for the Essex Trojans. So impressive defensive performance here in the second half by the Altavista Colonels.
Yeah, again, lockdown defense, smothering, stifling. Hard to describe when you haven't seen it in person. And Oscar, at the risk of giving away too many of Coach Carlero's secrets, maybe we should mention again that it looked just from these two sets of eyes, these untrained broadcasters, that the Colonels went back into the 2-3 zone there in the third quarter. And
I don't know a lot about.
Hard to say that it didn't work.
I don't know a lot about a lot, but I know a zone defense when I see one, and that was a zone defense. And the Colonels had gone on that little push, had gone up 38-33. Jumped into that zone and really seemed to cause some problems for Essex. And again, the whole defense intensity just ratcheted up from there. And once the Colonels got up by like 12 points, it took all the fight out of Essex. It was obvious they weren't going to make a comeback.
Yeah, that was a huge third quarter. Remember, Malbeck hit the 3. Thornhill hit back-to-back threes. How many times did the Colonels dial up long distance tonight? I think they hit 7 threes. Does that sound right? 4 in the first half and 3. May have been 8 threes, and maybe leaving somebody out there.
No, it was 7. You're dead
half.
on. That's nice memory.
Well, one thing I got for me. My math skills and my spelling skills aren't good, so at least I got the memory going for me.
My memory's awful. I can't remember what day trash day is.
What were we just talking about?
What?
Exactly. Colonels 63, Essex 40. As we close in on it here again. Last home game is tomorrow night, folks. Got to come out and see them if at all possible. Hey, if you can't make it to the game, we're here for you. Subway pregame show starts around 6:10, and we'd be glad to have you along board, and especially those out-of-town fans that listen at kdcountry.com and the TuneIn app. Oscar, sometimes that stream gets a little funny that you listen on. Sometimes it'll help if you close your browser and restart, or close the app and restart. Every now and then it gets clogged down, bottled up, because especially in the playoffs, we do have a lot more folks listening, so sometimes that can slow down the feed just a little bit. But we do our best, and our technical experts, Elizabeth and Eleanor Haney, top-notch, second to none, A+ as always. And I think we're about ready for those post-game stats, Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, The ones, yeah.
I'm ready. You ready? You feel good?
Yeah. I don't want to read them twice, though.
You sure?
Yeah.
I thought you said I had the good memory.
No, apparently not tonight.
What Thornhill finished with? 15?
Thornhill finished with 15.
That's pretty good stuff.
If you want to talk about it, it's really time for the Chris Owen Player of the Game.
It is time for the Chris Owen Player of the Game. You're right. Thornhill has been over 15, at 15 or over 15.7 times this year, and I have a feeling when you look at his stat line tomorrow, it's going to be pretty impressive. Let's fire it up, shall we? The Chris Owen Good Hands Award Player of the Game, brought to you by, of course, your All-State agent, Chris Owen. For the Essex Trojans, I tend to go first. I'll stay right there with that. I certainly like the things that Peterson did. I liked Hammond, obviously, but my man was Sardar Calhoun. He only finished with 7, saddled with some foul trouble, but he started them off with the three-pointer. I thought he's a nice player. 6'3" wing there on the outside, and I tell you, the Colonels have not met Essex up to this point, but they've got a lot of juniors and some sophomores, including Peterson and Calhoun. Would not be shocked if we saw Essex on the basketball court again in the future.
No, I wouldn't either, and I'm kind of torn between two players. I'm going to go a different route. I may even surprise you with this one. Malik Martin, for me, set the tone early. Had 6 points in the first half and really caused some problems for the Colonels. I thought he was the difference maker for them in the first half. So, for me, Malik Martin.
I like that pick. He was a shifty, crafty junior guard out there. Again, another one of those juniors. They got a few of them to go around. Let's transition over to the Altavista Colonels. Got some choices there for them as well, but, man, this is tough, Oscar.
Yeah,
this is real tough. I was thinking kind of in my head that I had it narrowed down. Then I started thinking about the great things everybody else did. Maybe I should pick the three-point line with the Colonels hitting 7 of them, but that would be a little bit goofy to pick a paint stripe on the court. So I'm going to go with Juan Thornhill. He hit back-to-back big ones. He sparks them defensively, offensively. The floor general out there, the magic man. What can't he do? And tonight he showed not much he can't do.
Boy, he had the impressive alley-oop dunk. Defensively, he was strong. He hit the boards hard. During that run, when it looked like Essex might try to make a little bit of a dent come back, he hit those consecutive three-pointers in the third quarter. That was huge. Great pick. I'm going a different route for a different reason. Boy, I thought Michi Malbeck defensively really disrupted what Essex wanted to do in the second half. Got out on the break, got to the free throw line a couple times early. Three big pointers tonight, the 2 to start the ball game. Michi Malbeck, for me, had a great floor game tonight and defensively was strong, and Michi Malbeck gets my Chris Owen Good Hand Player tonight.
Nice pick. Malbeck, impressive, especially the way he took over there in the third quarter, and everything seemed to be revolving around Mr. Malbeck there for a while. That's going to wrap it up for us. Again, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the generous support from folks like El Cazador, a great place for family and friends to dine. Certainly a great place to celebrate a Colonel win. English's, your complete home center and your Atrium Vinyl Window headquarters. Don't forget your Glidden Paint headquarters as well. David W. Shreve, attorney at law. When life happens, call David W. Shreve. Select Air, Mechanical, and Electrical, your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Donnie and the gang do so much for us, and give them a chance to do some stuff for you as well. You won't regret it. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Services, a family serving families since 1905. Altavista Appliance, come visit them at their new location on 7th Street in Altavista. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. Sonny Merriman, Virginia's premier bus company. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. The First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. Of course, our live internet broadcast at kdcountry.com. Brought to you by Chris Owen, your All-State agent in Lynchburg. This is the Subway postgame show. The new Turkey Italiano is here at Subway. Something new, something exciting. And some more exciting stuff tomorrow in store on the Subway pregame show. Got some good things to tell you about Subway of Altavista. Getting bigger and better, as always, is Robert Duff and his staff. Oscar, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for us. Colonels win by 23 over Essex. Great ball game. Catch this one on the YouTube rebroadcast whenever you want. We talk to you again from this very site, Altavista High School. Final home game for the Colonels as they'll host Middlesex Another elimination game, region semifinal, Subway pregame shows on around 6:10, tip-off at 6:30. And you can hear it all live on 105.5 KD Country.